for my legs and feet. Like what I mean when I say that is I knew that they were helpful to me in taking me from point A to point B. Like I could walk slowly, or if was in rush, I could run to get to point B. Also, if I wanted to play soccer or some games, I knew I could use my foot to kick the ball. But that was really everything. It was only after joining Sky Yoga that I realized that there was so much more to it. As we all know, Vedatri Maharishi has built every single one of his exercises with a purpose. And only after practicing those exercises himself did he release the exercises for the rest of us for our benefit. And also knowing that he has dedicated a full set of exercises just for our legs and feet, I started to realize that there was so much more to our lower body than I had simply initially thought. So, like I had done in the past, I decided to dive deeper into the meaning and reason behind these exercises. So, today I wanted to share with you some of what I had learned about foot reflexology. So, what is foot reflexology? To begin with, it is much more than just a foot massage because you walked all day and your feet hurt. Each one of our foot has over 20 muscles, 26 bones, 33 joints, and almost 7,000 nerve endings in each. So similar to the 14-point acupressure exercises that we practice, foot reflexology also rests on the ancient Chinese belief in qi, or vital energy. So qi, it flows through different channels or zones in our body. And if there's a disruption of any sort, or there's blockages because of stress or injury or congestion, then the body becomes unbalanced in sorts, and it's unable to heal itself. So that leads to illness, and pain can develop because of this. What reflexology does is it aims to keep this vital energy flowing through the body, keeping it balanced and disease free. And this is one of the beautiful things about the exercises. Vedatri Maharishi, he did not just take a narrow view on the exercises and in his principles, but searched everywhere and took a very wide angle and learned from various areas, and was able to build something like this for us so that we can practice and benefit from it. Um, so in foot reflexology, you apply pressure to specific reflex points on the foot to restore the flow of energy throughout the body. Each point corresponds to different organs and areas of the body, and this is one of the things that's magnificent about our feet. So doing this, it encourages a healing response, and it helps ease any ailments that we may feel. Doing foot reflexology, it can address anything from headaches, if you're experiencing that, to sinus problems, to even more severe stomach issues. And if you find that there is sensitivity or tenderness that you experience when you stimulate or put pressure on some of the areas, it usually indicates that there is some sort of bodily weakness or an imbalance with that corresponding organ. And so in front of you on the screen, you can see this is a map of really our whole body that's projected on our foot. Each part of the body, it's represented on a certain part of the foot, either one foot or both feet, actually. You can treat specific parts of your body by targeting that specific area on the foot, and perhaps spend a little bit more time giving pressure to that area. First off, the right foot, it's associated with the right part of the body, and the left foot, it's associated with the left side of the body. And as you go from heel to toe, it corresponds with your body from head to toe. So let's start at the top. The toes and upper part of the feet indicate your head and neck. And so the areas that are under your small toe are connected to the eyes. And so if you have anything, or like if you're experiencing eye strain, applying pressure to this area can help. The area underneath your toes, they oh, sorry, but just before I go to the toes, let me just quickly speak about the pituitary gland, because as you can see, you are activating your pituitary gland when you're massaging your big toe. And this is one of the exercises that you can do to help you with meditation. Right underneath your toes uh, correspond to the chest, which includes your heart, lungs, and shoulder. So one thing you want to note here is the areas between, on both feet are not really identical. For example, as you can see over here, our heart is more so on the left side in our body, and that's actually reflected in our feet as well. As you can see, the heart region is larger on the left foot than it is on the right foot. Likewise, the stomach, it's primarily located on the left side of the abdomen, so massaging and applying pressure to the left foot can treat stomach ailments. The thinnest part of your foot, it's usually towards its center, and it's known as the waistline. And so, in addition to your stomach, your kidneys, intestines, and liver are part of this area. And so, this is a sensitive area. And so, that's why when we practice um, foot reflexology, you're told to apply very light pressure in this area. The bottom of your foot is associated with the pelvic area. And as people age, you might have heard that there's trouble with sciatica, which is the pain that radiates along the sciatic nerve, which branches from the bottom of your lower back to your through your hips and down to each leg. And so there is a section, as you can see, in the foot that is specifically for the sciatic nerve. So applying pressure here will relieve any of the stress that's there. And then finally, at the very bottom of your foot, to the top of your big toe, that represents your spine. The insides of your spine, if you'll notice, the insides of your feet, you'll notice, is has the same basic shape as your spine, with the same curves and bends. And so applying here, pressure here will help with any ailments in your spine. Now that we've covered the different areas of the foot, let's move on to the tremendous amount of benefits that you can enjoy by practicing foot reflexology. I'll just go through some of them here. So by doing foot reflexology, you can increase the blood circulation. So blood, along with oxygen, gets cycled and delivered through the body more efficiently. When there's improvement in circulation, it also means that there's more oxygen that's reaching our vital organs, which optimizes their functioning and further increases the metabolism in your body. And so the delivery of oxygen through the body also results in faster healing and regrowth of damaged cells. And that is even more important today, as many of us are sedentary and than we were before, because we are working from home. So now there's no need to travel to work and move around while you're at work. And so even myself, I find often that once I sit at my desk that's set up in the living room at 8 o'clock in the morning, I don't get out of that chair until noon when I take a lunch break. And then again at 4 o'clock when I'm finished work. So right now I'm trying to consciously break that habit. So I'm walking around the house at least once an hour or so. But it helps to know that I can further increase the circulation in my body through foot reflexology. But it's important to know that just because I'm saying that, It's important to know that foot reflexology is not replacing uh, the movement, but what it's doing is it's rather enhancing it. Another benefit is that it cleanses our body of toxins. By improving blood circulation, foot reflexology improves bladder function, and that helps reduce the possibility of urinary tract issues. And this results in a more efficient system of eliminating toxins and other foreign elements from your body. And so, thereby, really protecting your body from various diseases and health conditions that often can happen because your urinary system is compromised. Um, Another benefit is that it boosts your immune system and clears up sinus issues. It can promote healing and it balances energy within our body. It reduces stress and anxiety, and it promotes relaxation. And so, foot reflexology, it's known to open neural pathways and flood the nervous system with neuron activity, which puts the body in a more relaxed state. So, by delivering an abundance of relaxation in your system, foot reflexology, it induces a state of calm within our body. And so, uh, ultimately, this aids you when you do meditation right after you complete the exercises in the morning. It can also be used to help cure sleeping disorders such as insomnia, and it helps your body get back to its normal, healthy circadian system. Another benefit is it reduces pain. For backaches, you can gently massage the sides of your feet, like I mentioned earlier, because it's associated with your spinal cord. If you have neck pain, you can massage the toes as well as the joints that join the toes to the foot. Um, you can massage the whole ankle to reduce pain and swelling in not only your ankle, but also to relieve menstrual cramps by improving circulation to reproductive organs. And it also really releases endorphins, which are chemicals that help reduce pain and stress. Um, it helps fight cancer symptoms. There have been a number of studies that suggest that it helps the symptoms as well as treat any nerve problems and numbness from cancer drugs. It helps recover from back problems and also corrects hormonal imbalances. Um, it can help reduce headaches. So one of the most common applications of reflexology is it reduces the severity of migraines and headaches by relieving tension in the muscles that often result in such conditions. And so since stress and psychological factors often manifest in physical symptoms of the migraine, headaches brought by stress can also be reduced or eliminated actually by using reflexology. And as we saw earlier, the upper portion of the feet are related to the head. So spending some time here on the big toe of both feet will help reduce this. Um, it also helps improve mood and fight depression. And so, for instance, the spot in the center of the big toe and the spot at the center of the ball of your foot that's located just under the big toe, they're associated with emotional stability and mental health. So, massaging this area or applying pressure to them for a few minutes can relieve these symptoms. And it, as you can see, it also improves general well-being. It boosts fertility, and it can also improve digestion and metabolism. So doing reflexology can improve the functionality of many of the organs in your body, which would result in higher metabolism, which in return helps with creating more energy for the body. Um, it can improve nerve functions. So as our bodies age, the nerve endings become less and less sensitive to the extremity parts of our body. And so opening up and cleaning out our neural pathways can improve functionality and flexibility of nerves and cells in various organs um, that are in our body. And neural passageways are essentially like muscles in that it's extremely beneficial and crucial to keep them healthy and active so that you can continue to use them. Um, there's even more benefits, and so it improves brain power. And so by stimulating our nerves and opening our neural pathways, information flows much faster. And this is, I mean, and more effectively to our brain, which would help our brain to handle the process and information of faster and results in a much faster cognitive and physical reactions. And it also boosts our memory power. Um, it eases arthritis pain. And finally, foot reflexology also makes our feet healthier. So one way to keep our feet healthy and free from all kinds of foot problems is a regular foot massage, because it helps stimulate the areas like the blood flow in our feet. Um, so as you can see, there are many, many benefits. Reflexology is becoming increasingly popular because it is considered to be a safe and non-invasive natural treatment without the need for drugs or chemicals. And it's also easy to learn the techniques and self-apply. So if you go to a massage therapist, they can do their foot reflexology for you too, but you should expect to pay them anywhere from $30 to $60 just for a 30-minute massage. So it's wise to do it yourself. So I know I've given you a lot of information, and I'm quite sure that you're not going to retain most of it just because there's a lot to remember. But what I want you to get out of this is understand how beneficial it is to us, and that is also useful if we practice it every day. And this actually leads me to something else that I wanted to share with you. Since the COVID pandemic, because I'm staying home more, I've had the time to read many books. And most recently, I've enjoyed reading biographies of people like Michelle Obama, Leonardo da Vinci, and Steve Jobs, all of which were very fascinating. But I'll speak about them perhaps in another lecture and what we can learn from them, especially from Steve Jobs, who regularly practiced meditation. But just a quick note on him. He was first introduced to meditation when he went to university and started reading many books on spirituality and enlightenment. And it was at the same time that he met some of his classmates who were also practicing it. And so, in his own words, he says that if you just sit and observe, you will see how restless your mind is. If you try to calm it, it only makes it worse. But over time, it does calm. And when it does, there's room to hear more subtle things. That's when your intuition starts to blossom and you start to see things more clearly and be in the present more. Your mind just slows down and you see a tremendous expanse in the moment. You see so much more than you could see before. And he truly believed in the power of intuition that it brought him. He attributes a lot of his success to it. And unfortunately, he did pass away at a young age, at 56. But there was a study that was done on his brain, which found that his brain's age, although he was 56 years old, his brain's age was 27 years old. Um, and so your brain, it starts shrinking at the age of 40 because the neuron function slows down. But what they had found is that by regularly meditating, Steve Jobs was actually able to prevent that aging. If you have time, I would recommend you to read the book. It's by Walter Isaacson, who Steve Jobs personally asked to write after he found out about his pancreatic cancer diagnosis, and he was told that he only had couple of years to live. But again, I'll speak about Steve Jobs in another lecture, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you do have a chance, you should read his biography. But what I wanted to speak right now about is actually another book that I'm reading, and it's called The Power of Habit, written by Charles Duhigg. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it explores the science behind habit creation and reformation. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is I know that there are a few people who haven't gotten in the habit of exercising daily yet or meditating daily. Even for me, waking up at 5:15 in the morning to get ready for exercises and meditation was an extreme uphill struggle at first. There were times where I had the urge to hit the snooze button on my alarm so that I could stay in bed for another extra hour of sleep before going to work. But I had heard somewhere that it takes 21 days to form a habit and another 66 days for it to become a regular routine. So I decided that I would just try that. And this book that I'm reading right now, it speaks about that as well. It starts off with an anecdote of a 34-year-old woman who was part of a research study. And so it starts off that she was skinny, vibrant, healthy looking. She had a stable job and at a graphic design firm, and she had no outstanding debts. But it said that if you had seen the same person a few years back, you would have seen a woman who was obese, struggled with drinking and smoking, and was hounded by debt collection agencies, and someone who could not hold down a job for a long time. There were psychologists, neurologists, geneticists, and sociologists who studied and followed her life, um, and um, and most particular to her behavior and habits. And so, through their research of her as well as others, they found that there's just not one, just so there's just not one, but two different areas in the brain that help in creating habit. And one area of the brain, it performs and records that activity that you're doing regularly to form that habit. But there's a second area, which is equally as important, and that's the region close to the forehead. And that region, what it does is that's where the behavioral inhibition and self-discipline starts. So by activating that area, by creating a habit, it will actually help you create more good habits and create a positive snowball effect. And so once that habit is formed, your body takes over and it becomes um, automatic, and you'll do it as if it were second nature to you. So what I'm trying to point out here is even though waking up early in the morning to do exercise and join our 6 a.m. meditation session may seem like a big feat at first, it becomes easier as you do it for some more weeks. And like for myself, I still sometimes have those urges to hit the snooze button and sleep in even today. But within a few minutes, my body itself, it's so used to getting up at that time that it will get me out of bed and back on routine because it's so used to it. Um, and I have to say, starting my day during these exercises and joining the morning meditation have considerably have has a positive effect on the remainder of my day. And so I would urge all of you to join us, and you too, within, I would say, 21 days, will be easily able to enjoy the benefits both of the daily exercises, and of all the benefits of the meditation and just the foot reflexology and everything that I have just spoken with you about. Um, that is everything. And I hope you, by listening to this, I have encouraged you to regularly practice, because there are just so much more benefits. And again, by doing research in this, I myself have learned a lot about it.